My goodness, doesn't it feel good to be back here again? Yes.
We need wine for this.
Welcome back to Wine Wednesday, where we don't believe in complaining, but if you're gonna whine, then pour me some. I'm really excited because now I actually have a very, very cool, they're all wines are cool, okay? Let's be honest. But since my last Wine Wednesday, Vin and I went to Italy, and we finally got the wine that we ordered in the mail, which if you didn't know, fun fact, free shipping takes approximately 2 months, okay? It's a long time to wait. So this is the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. So we were supposed to go to Siena, but we couldn't get there. It just didn't really work with the drive. But instead we went to Montepulciano, and I cannot be happier that we did. I cannot wait to go back there. But this is one of the wines that we got. This is the Riserva 2013. There's so many Italian words on here, and they're all pretty, and I'm not going to be good at saying them, but that's all I know, and it's delicious. Also, just a quick note that this episode of Wine Wednesday on AmyTV is sponsored by Airtable, and if you're curious to hear what wine and software, very easy to use software, have in common, then stay tuned until the end, because I have a treat for you, okay? It's good. Sounding a little bit like I'm obsessed with wine because I just went to Italy like every other basic woman on Instagram. So I wanted to talk today, not wine, just talk a little bit about self-care. It's something that we talk a lot about on this channel, and I kind of got the idea that maybe we should just get a little deeper on it, just a little bit deeper, because I realized when I was having a conversation, actually I think on this couch for Detail Therapy, the podcast, with my best friend Sarah, we were talking about self-care and how it's a little bit different for everyone. But it's one of those many arbitrary terms that's being passed around the internet so many times, and we get the same basic advice all the time from people. And so I thought we should discuss it and me share my feelings about it with you. First and most importantly, my opinion about self-care is it's 1,000,000% necessary. Self-care is extremely important. The bottom line is that it's going to be different for everyone, but if you're not doing it at all, then we've got a real problem on our hands. And this can look really basic for you in terms of self-care, or it could be extra. But regardless of that, it's extremely important. We've got to have those moments where we truly take care of ourselves. The cliche is, okay, you got to put your mask on first, guys, because you're not going to be able to put your mask on if you help everybody else in the world and you never do yourself a justice. Sometimes it's a little controversial too, considering yourself before others. But unfortunately, if we don't, then we are not going to go after the life that we want, because we're going to be too busy filling our mind and filling our stress and filling our worlds with a lot of things that don't matter to us because we forget to balance. That being said, the reason I wanted to create this video is because I have strong feelings about the fact that there's a lot of people in the world defining what self-care is for other people. This usually happens when you're updating a friend in your life and they're telling you like, oh wow, oh that's what's going on, oh you're stressed, oh you need to do this or you need to do that. First of all, you guys know how I am when people tell me what to do, especially if they have should in the sentence. After somebody says should, I stop hearing anything coming out of their mouth. You should, it doesn't happen for me. Being the person who says you should do this or you need to do this or you need to go and do that, that's just not going to help anybody who may actually need, maybe not hear it from you, but need to take some time for themselves. They don't need you to tell them what you think their version of self-care is. It's called self-care for a reason, so everybody has to make that decision for themselves. And I think that we're getting a little bit carried away with, oh, okay, these are all the ways that you self-care. The reason this is top of mind for me is obviously I just finished writing Good Morning, Good Life. And Good Morning, Good Life overall is a self-care guide. In my opinion, if you start your day on your own terms, then you can have a better day than most. But when we wake up in a reactionary state and everything is affecting us and we blame the world for all of our problems, it's just not good. Not everyone's going to be a morning person. Not everyone needs the most extravagant of mornings. But I do think that waking up on the right wavelength, on your way of doing things is critically important. But from there, do you. I can't sit here and say that rolling over and looking at your phone is negatively affecting you throughout the day. There are people who I feature in the book who do roll over in the morning, maybe not roll over, sit up in the morning, turn the news on and start scrolling the news on their phone as well, just to get updated, and that works for them. I have an argument if you are in a negative space, you're in a rut, and you do nothing but stare at your phone every waking hour, every literal waking hour. But I can't say that that's not good for some people. Some people are really trying to get a jump on what the news is for the day because that might be part of their job. It might be something that they're super passionate about, whatever the case may be. It propels them forward. So as much as I'd love to say, hey, self-care, don't look at your phone when you first wake up, that's not a blanket statement. I can't do that. Now, you might sound me advocate a lot for it, but that's because the people I mostly come into contact with probably do need that to be an update in their life. And that's what they're coming to me for information for. But just go walking up to somebody and saying like, oh man, you woke up this morning and looked at Twitter? You need to stop that. Like, why? Because they're a little stressed out today, because they're not having the best day, because their kids are making them a little crazy. Like, no, that's not going to be the thing that is their self-care. I also think this is happening a lot with meditation. I feel so many different ways about meditation. Like, it's awesome when you're doing it, but it's also nerve-wracking because you're thinking, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? And that's like the thing you're trying to stop doing is overthinking because you're meditating. I think that's to each their own. I try to do it as much as I can because I actually like the idea of, oh, hey, Amy, this is your assigned time to slow your brain down. That is something that I would find to be self-caring to myself. But if I'm holding my feet to the fire and like, gotta do the 20 minutes today, that doesn't feel like self-care to me. So I kind of do it on my own, just sort of volition. Like whenever I feel like if I've got a bonus 10 minutes in my morning routine because I breezed right through, my morning pages, then I might try to fit it in. But this going around to everybody and saying, you've got to meditate, you've got to stop, you don't have time to not meditate. Well, okay, slow your roll a little bit though, because if you're sitting there and your anxiety is going up and up and up and up and up because you're overthinking what you're doing, yes, it's going to take some practice, but no, it may not be self-care for somebody right now. So immediately putting that on people is not something that I'm a fan of. Another feeling I have is spa days. I'm a huge advocate of a good spa day to take care of yourself. I think that's a great idea. There are many people who have zero interest in that. Like, talk to a dude, tell him to have a spa day. Like, I don't know. Everything is different for everyone. We actually went to a spa while we were in Italy over the summer, and there were many people in the family who all went, and it was a really interesting experience. It was one of those things where you tour all these pools, and they're all different temperatures and they're all different like salt levels and stuff, and it was supposed to be this experience. You could also get massages and facials, and naturally I got a lot of things done that day. I couldn't even get the oils shampooed out of my hair that night. I shampooed my hair 4 times because I had too many services done that the oils would not get out of my hair. It was unbelievably frustrating and yet the most soothing day ever. But there were people in that group who were so uninterested in the massage, but you got a free massage when it was like kind of like a theme park. Italy's amazing. They have spa theme parks there. So even if you weren't really into massages, you're like, well, I got a free 30-minute massage, whatever, you go do it. Getting a European massage is not the same thing as getting an American massage, okay? So if that's your first experience, you're about to get a really big awakening. So you can't say that the spa is everyone's self-care, because just because it's been branded that way does not mean that it's true. But here are a few things that I believe are, no doubt about it, self-care that absolutely everyone needs. And you can tell me if I'm wrong because it would prove the point of this video, but here's what they are. Ample sleep, nutrition that is above board, exercise at least some of the time so you can move your body. I think it should be a few times a week, and a good morning, good life. Those are the 4 things I really believe are the bare minimum self-care for absolutely everybody. No matter what, you gotta do you. That's it. I talk about that in the book a lot. Just do you. Do you, do you. You have to do what's right for you. And that alone might be the best form of self-care that you experience, because if you have a really hard time with that right now, then maybe you just need to get in touch with what do you actually means. Question of the day: what is something that you consider to be self-care self-care for yourself that you actually do regularly. It doesn't have to be every single day, but something that you do regularly to just take some time for you. Leave that in the comments below. Thanks to today's sponsor of Wine Wednesday on AmyTV, and that is our friends at Airtable. Airtable is allowing people and companies everywhere to make their own software, but just without worrying about their technical experience. Millions of people are using Airtable to build their own software, everything from directories to product inventories to content management systems, and they have an incredible amount of templates, which makes me so excited about this. You don't have to be a business to actually use Airtable, which is why I wanted to talk about them, because when you actually see their platform, you get really excited about all of the ways you can get a little bit more organized in your life, maybe even organizing something like a hobby. Maybe that hobby is wine. So because we just got back from Italy, we have quite a bit of wine that we bought there. We get a lot of different wines in the mail that we order just from clubs that we're in or organizations that we want to try their product. So I love that there is an Airtable template for building a wine cellar inventory. You don't have to be a business to track your inventory, but it's so fun to be able to keep track of all the details, tracking the origins of places, where it's from, the type of wine that it is, and start ranking it, because then you might just be a little bit of a som in your own home. If you want to be a, I guess we call it amateur sommelier, that's what I'm into, because I don't have a whole lot of hobbies, people, okay? I make videos and it's a lot of fun, but I still have to find things outside of work I'm passionate about. And guess what? Airtable helps to support my passion for tracking my wine. If you check out Airtable, you're gonna be able to dig through a ton of different inspiration they present to you. You can check all these different categories and all the different needs that you have. Go and find some of the templates that are gonna work great for you. The link's in the description, and for those of you who sign up, you will get a $50 credit just for being a friend of AmyTV. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life that you want. Cheers. I have an idea. What if the whole channel was Wine Wednesday? Why do I do anything else? This is great. Oh, too many lipstick stains. Hold on. I can only have one on camera, or it looks real sloppy.